Alright, here's the donor car for the 34 Ford. This is a 1987 Formula GTA. You can see the emblem on the dash, if I can hold it steady enough. There we go. It is a Grand Trans Am 1987, which means that it is indeed a 350 tune port. We did check the serial numbers on the motor, and they did match the serial number on this car. There's the empty hole. This car was red. It's gold now. Somebody painted it sometime before we bought it. And here is the donor motor for the 34 Ford as we took it out. Like I said, the previous video, we did check the serial number. It is a 350 tune port motor, 700R transmission. It's not in great shape now. Was running before we parked it. Don't know if you can see it, but the pack rat has ate all the wires off the car. Really doesn't matter. Gonna completely go through the motor anyway. Just thought you might want to see how and where we got the motor and tranny from.
Hey guys, got the car home, the body. We got it from N&N Fiberglass down in Arkansas. Of course, you've seen the trip. And so a couple people asked me, you know, why would I want this body versus a dozen out there? Well, if you do your homework, and that's what a lot of people don't do, they won't do their homework. Do your homework and you'll see that this body is, if not equal to, but superior to Outlaw out in Pennsylvania, which I believe is one of the best bodies out there. So after doing research and doing body work for a long time, I believe that this 34 Ford that I've got from N&N Fiberglass is the best on the market. And so we'll go through it here in a little bit and show you some of the things that I believe that make this body superior. So why do I believe that this is one of the best bodies on the market? Well, there's a lot of points you can look on this. I've built a number of steel cars, and this is my first fiberglass car. I've worked on a lot of fiberglass cars. I've worked on a lot of 33, 34 Fords, Roadsters, coupes, sedans. Anyway, you can see it's got hidden hinges on it. If you look how all the hinges are made, how he's got them here, and he's got a complete steel frame surrounding the back of the body like a cage. It goes up into the corners around the windows, and it goes completely around, as you can see on the back. And then if you look at all the woodwork was done, even the woodwork was done on this, was very, very meticulously done. Everything, I think, took Scott, he's one of the employees there, 2 days to put the wood in this car. And if you look at the 33, 34 Ford, they came with the wood just like that for the headliner and for the upholstery and so on, and they add strength and body to the car. So all the woodwork that was done on this car is professional, glued corners, just really, really, really nice. And so you can see the bows in the ceiling. That's the woodwork and some of the steel, and of course on the firewall, up on the very front of the firewall, you'll see a complete, again, steel frame that's bolted to the floor, up the sides, and across the dashboard underneath. So it has square tubing, all TIG welded, MIG or TIG, and you know, to mount your steering column, ground straps, whatever you like to do, strengthen the firewall. Really nice job. And it comes as the dash that he builds with, of course. It's a fiberglass dash, real nice, fits in there really good. It looked good with, you know, custom gauges and so on. Let's see, something else in the body. Well, take a look at the floor. The floor has this core mat that Dwayne puts in down there. And this core mat is a very strong substance. This isn't just fiberglass matting, and you have the core mat that he puts in the floor section, the trunk section, all the corners in the back. If you look in the weak spots, he's got all the core section, the core pieces there. all the corners. The headliner on top of the roof has the same core. And this core, do some research on this core, and you will find that this core material really adds strength to this fiberglass. Really makes it strong. It won't print on the outside. You won't see any printing come out on it. So you need to check that out. You know, not just the fiberglass laid down with mat. This has got this core through it. Really nice. I was really impressed with that. I think if you do your research, you will too. I'm going to run these bucket seats in, and of course these are leather seats. I'm going to put a leather interior in the car. They're 2009 Cadillac CTS. I think they'll fit in the car pretty well. I'll put leather door panels, leather headliner, and the carpet, of course. But that's the way I'm going that way. It's got power windows in it. When you buy them, it has the power windows in it, and they're already wired. As you can see, the wires are there, and you know, they're already mounted. And if you notice, the garnish moldings are fitted to the car. So basically, you paint them or wrap them. A lot of times they'll wrap them with material, and they're really nice. And so you could, you know, those are really nice to have. It's got all of them for the two doors, the back window, and the windshield. So you have all your garnish moldings in the car. You have the dashboard in the car, and that makes it really handy. And there again, they're really nice. And on the, I had Dwayne, while he was down there, put these safety locks in. Well, when you have a 34 Ford, 34 Ford with suicide doors, sometimes you can tweak the body. I've never had it happen, but I've seen guys that have, and the door will pop open on it, especially with factory locks. This is a bear claw, and as you can see, they're really good. And they put them on a lot of the street rods anymore, steel cars or fiberglass. This is a bear claw. But also with the safety is a little pin, so it goes into the cowl. When you close the door from the inside, you put the pin, and that's just a security lock that holds that door. You don't have to worry about it popping open on you, because there again, there's suicide doors, and you got to remember that. Fit the way it came from there. I mean, everything just really nice. Now, they'll be close. If you notice the gaps on the car, they'll be close, and that's just how you want them. Well, why would you want that? The reason why you'd want gaps that are close is because that lets you tailor the car to the size of the gap you want. When they come and they're already wide, that's it. You can't do nothing about them except reglass them. So if you notice, they're really got nice gaps. The lines up, the body belt line is what they call this. The belt lines line up really nice. Very little body work to be done here. Smooth, nice and even. I'm running my hand over it, and everything is really nice. Really flush. As far as the seams that are showing, you got a seam here across the cowl, then you got a seam here across the roof, that when they put them together, you have this seam. And Dwayne, what he does, he just sands them down. I might use a little Duraglass, but anyway, the body, you can, this car hasn't been painted. This is just a gel coat that's on it. So you can see how the finish is that's really on it. And I don't know what color we're going to paint the car. I think I'm going to paint the car Ferrari red. I think that's the way I'm probably going to go with this street rod. The way he did the firewall, if you look, instead of just having a plain, flat firewall, this firewall has already been recessed for a small block Chevrolet. I told them what size motor I wanted, and so they already know how much to recess the firewall, so that it'll take the small block Chevrolet. But he puts a little bit of design up here, so it isn't just flat. It looks really good. Looks really good. I really like that. Just adds a little flavor to it. I'm going to be running a TunePort 350. I think Jeff already mentioned that in his previous photo. 350 with a TunePort. I've got a 700R series transmission, and that's what I'm going to run in the car. I think it'll make a real nice option. It's going to have power windows. It'll have the power seats. I don't know if Jeff mentioned it. It'll have power windows, power seats, cruise control, tilt wheel, air conditioning, of course stereo, and CD player. Let's see, what else? On the back of the car, let's take a look at the back. I'll walk around this motor here. This, you can see how the trunk fits. Now, you know, you can buy it with a handle. He'll install a handle for you. But I told him to leave it off because I can always install the handle, And if you don't do body work and you want to do something like this, you might, if you want to handle it, then I would have Wayne put it in. But I'm thinking about putting a power trunk in the car, so there'll be no handle, keep it smooth. But anyway, that's the way I'm going. The hinges look really nice. As you can see, did a nice job. The hinges work. The trunk fits really, really, really well all the way around. Real nice job. Just look at the, for an example, take a look at this, Jeff. If you can see the thickness of this fiberglass right here. This is how the body is. This isn't one of these pop-me-out type. This is a real thick fiberglass, well made, no bleed hole airs. You know, I mean, look at the finishes on this. The gel coat's really nice. It's thick. There again, it's got the matting inside, that core matting inside this lid. Makes it really, really sturdy. And as you can see inside, you can see where the steel comes down. Of course, attaches to the chassis. Here is where it's bolted to the chassis. And there again, just real nice workmanship. Real nice. It's got the full gutter. Notice this. And this is just little things, but it makes a big difference. When the rain comes down, if you got nice upholstery, if you don't have a rain gutter in your car, guess what? It's going all over your carpets, and then, you know, you'd be pretty upset. But anyway, he's got the complete rain gutter all the way around it, and all you got to do is drill the corners, and you drill a little hole down the bottom, and you put a tube, and so when the water comes down, you'll have two of them, one on the right, one on the left, and it just goes out into the ground. Real simple. Two little tubes, and that's all you'll need. And there again, like I said, I'm going to put a power trunk on this back here. I will run the stock gas tank because sometimes they'll mount gas tanks in here, but I'm going to mount the gas tank back under the car right here where it bolts. And in order to run a tune port, it'll have to have the electric fuel pump inside. Let's see, body seams in the back. Okay, it's if you're familiar with the steel cars, it's exactly how they have a body seam here. You can take them out, smooth enough you like. That's up to you. I might leave this in to give it that steel look from the, you know, you can't tell. But anyway, you can see here's the seam here. Again, fit real nice. Gaps are close, so you can sand them out. Give yourself a nice gap, not a problem. The car is chopped 3 5/8. Sometimes guys chop cars, they'll make them 4 and 5. I've had 3.5-inch chops. This is a 3 5/8 chops, and I really like the height of the windows. And I'm 6'2", so I have to be careful how much I chop a car. But I think if you over chop a car, personal preference, it doesn't look as well. If it's not chopped enough, then it looks like it's under. It just doesn't look right. It looks bulky. I think the 3 5/8 chops. So you need to, like I said, you look at your bodies. And this is all he'll make, by the way, the 3 5/8 chop. There's no, it's either this is it or, you know, and that's what I wanted. Because, like I said, Outlaw offers the 3 5/8. This is what we have here, and that's as far as on the market, and that's what I'm doing. I'm giving a comparison to an Outlaw. And for the money, the Outlaw is about $10,500. This body, $6,500. And I believe it's a better quality body. You're getting more for your money. In my estimation, and call and talk to Dwayne, and you know, the things you want. Let's see how that closes. Look at that. Right, guys, just right. I mean, another thing, if you have a chassis, you might want to, if you're not too far away from him, take it, bring him the chassis of the car before he builds the body. If you don't have a chassis, Dwayne has access to aftermarket chassis that are really nice. And he can do a chassis and a body right there in his shop. And I would highly recommend, if you're going to go that way, that will save you a lot of traveling. That way you can only have to go one time down there. And I'm just saying that so you can kind of think about what I'm saying as far as if you're thinking about a 33, 34 Ford. If you want to go this route on a coupe, and he does roadsters too, by the way. Anyway, let's see. We're just getting started on it, so I've got a rear end for it. I got a 10 bolt that's got to come out of this Pontiac. Because it's got disc brakes on, I want to run that in the back. I'll run ladder bars with coilovers. That's what's going to be in the rear. The front, I'm going to run a suicide axle, a Super Bell straight axle, full bar, Pete and Jake full bar. I like that system. I think they look good. It gives it the traditional look that I like. I'm not saying there's something wrong with the Mustang 2 or any of those type of front ends. They handle really nice. I just like the street rod look of the Pete and Jake full bar and so on. But anyway, that's enough for today. As we progress on the job, that way there you can see how this car is coming, and Jeff will be helping me on it, building it, going through this thing. So stay tuned for it, and really appreciate your time.